Hey guys, I am here because I wanted to share with you some of the differences between Slay the Spire, the board game, as opposed to the video game. So for my example, this is by no means exhaustive, but I just wanted to share some of the differences, like with the defect in specific, because in my opinion, he felt kind of the most changed in order to work with the board game. So first off, everybody has way less health. The numbers are a lot lower in this board game because you only start with a max of 9 health. And I mean, like, in the video game, you can take 9 health from Jawworm on floor 1, fight 1. So, very different game. So, scaling is very different. Blocking is a lot more significant because, just for example, if I get Slimbo here, his big super attack that he does, 6 damage. I mean, yeah, that's 2/3 of your health, so that's pretty significant. But there's a lot, the numbers are a lot less slower because like Slimbo, when you're just playing one player, only has 22 health total. Then you just got to deal him 22 damage, then he splits basically. So that's one of the big differences. A lot lower numbers, but block, your defends gain 1 block. That's a lot more significant as well. Also, ice orbs are quite a bit different. So whenever you play your orbs, you have your player board and you just stick them right here on the defect. And frost orbs into turn, gain 1 block. And if you evoke it, gain 1 block. And if you're like, man, that's lame, it's actually quite good because like I said, if Slimbo is dealing you 6 damage and you have defrag out and you've got 3 frost orbs channeled, Slimbo isn't dealing you any damage on his most powerful attack. Now you'll notice one of my like, no, why did they change this part? Defrag is now a rare. In Slay the Spire, the video game is just an uncommon, and I would love scooping up like 4 of those if I could. It's a rare in the board game, probably a right call because orbs are quite strong for the defect, especially like the example I provided with the defect fighting the slime boss. So probably should be a rare. If you've played Slay the Spire 2, which is now out, you'll also notice they did keep the change that defrag is a rare in Slay the Spire 2, but look at this. They made it cost 3 and they made it ethereal. Is it worth it? Honestly, most of the time in the board game it is, because that's just how strong orbs are, and getting an additional focus, which they don't give you much of in the board game. Very strong because the numbers, like I said, are much lower. Like the bosses only have, Slimbo starts off with 22 health before he splits. So if you're lightning, instead of doing 1 damage per turn or 2 damage when you evoke it, is suddenly doing 2 damage per turn or 3 damage when you evoke it. Like, woof. That's pretty crazy. So that's one big difference. Defrag is now a rare. Also, check this out. Amplify has nothing to do with powers anymore. Dark orbs evoke for +3 damage. Totally different card. I mean, it has nothing to do with powers like it does in the board game, or in the video game, pardon me. So that's another big difference. There's several defect cards that they just kind of totally recreated as something new. Another big thing about the board game is most cards only come with a single copy. You can't get 4 defrags in your deck. There's only one that you can even possibly achieve. There's a couple exceptions that you can get 2 cards. For example, Claw. There's 2 claws. You can't have 6 claws in your deck, but you can have 2. And Claw is different too. If you want to read that, Claw still costs 0, so the 0 cost card build is still very viable for the defect. Deals 1 damage, but instead of scaling like it does in the video game, +1 damage if the topmost card of your discard pile costs 0. I mean, that just kind of makes sense because on the computer game, it just ticks it automatically for you. That would probably be a memory nightmare trying to make this scale in a similar way. Not a bad card for zero cost though, especially if you're doing the zero cost build, which is, like I said, is still a very viable build for Defect. So those are just a couple of the changes in the board game, hopefully to entice you because of how, well, if you love Slay the Spire, the video game, this is an excellent experience. I really enjoy it. You can play it single player or multiplayer. There's so many other little nuances that they kind of tweaked in order to create it as a board game. So that's just a couple of the examples of how it's different. And I really think you guys will enjoy it if you pick it up.